want to spend all my time on messing around with melting stuff, no matter how enjoyable that may be. I do need to get this bathroom done. So two things that have come to light. The first one is that the missus decided that this sink over here should be over here. So I need to move this drain. Luckily I haven't started on my supply piping. So I'm going to take this is the one that's going to be out in this room. I'm going to move it so that the drain's over here. Well, what's probably a lot more relevant is that I misread the instructions on the enclosure on this shower. I thought it went on studs, and it doesn't. It goes on drywall, which means that this damn thing is 1/2 inch too far this way and 1/2 inch too far this way. So this is going to teach me a lesson, because I've already put the damn thing down in mortar, and I got to move the drain. So I've got a couple of hopeful thoughts. The first one is, I said it in mortar, but mortar's not an adhesive. It's really intended to support it from this standpoint. So I'm hoping that I can just lift it up out of the mortar, because when I looked at the bottom of it, didn't seem to have anything that was supposed to stick in the mortar and kind of be held. If not, I'm hoping I can break the mortar loose enough to get this thing up, because it cost me about $300 and I really don't want to break it. Second thing is, I put down crappy concrete, although it does seem to have solidified up. So I'm going to have to break out a little of the concrete around that drain pipe, and I'm hoping that it won't be too difficult to just take out a chunk. And I got extra concrete, I'll just put it back. And then I'll get the thing ready, but I won't mortar it in until I get the walls built out. Let's try moving this thing first, because I want to mess around with the studs in relation to this thing too. So before I move that drain, I'd like to have the studs where they need to be. Let's just give it a little nudge and see what it does. Not exactly leaping up out of the mortar bed. It's not totally committed. Thank God for shoddy construction. I don't claim I can get it out yet, but it's feeling less impossible. That was accomplished with a lot less angst than I expected. You might be asking me the obvious question, why I didn't drag out the baby jackhammer to do that instead of that. Well, to be perfectly frank, I wanted to see how crappy my concrete was, and it's leaving me with very mixed emotions, because the air hammer did not disappoint, and yet the concrete did. So, an interesting combination of feelings. Anyway, now I need to move this drain. My initial thing I was going to do was cut this out further, and then just shorten that line up. But actually, if I take this like that, and then I put that thing back on, it'll sit just proud of 1/2 inch drywall. I might even go with 5/8 inch drywall, and I think it would be almost spot on. So really all I have to do now is shorten that, glue this in, And there's just enough for me to do that and bring the drain pipe up to the right height. Turns out the shop vac technique will work for very limited excavation. It was that big excavation where it didn't work. Plus, pretty humid today, so I think there's a little bit more moisture in the sand, which means it sticks together a little better. Wow, that's close, but it does fit. So there you have it. Also moved that, so that's ready to go. I've fixed the placement of this so that I can rough in that shower valve and the shower head right there. So I think I'm done with this particular episode. Let me tell you what's left. I've got to move the electricity, so that'll be a show in itself. I've got to plumb in all the supply. I'll do that. I've got a tile. Then I think I'm going to be ready for drywall. I'm not going to make the mistake of setting that thing in place again until I'm close to the end. Actually, before I do the electricity, etc., I've got to block in for the medicine chest there. I've got to put in some blocking to support that sink, some blocking to support all of the plumbing. So I'll do that as part of the next episode. For now, though, let's call it a day. Sorry that I posted this one late because I was gone. I didn't have anything to post. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Tell your friends if you want. Further adventures. At some point, I'm going up in the toxic hell because I've got to finish the supply stack, which I never glued up, and I've got to add this vent, move some electricity, add some lights over there. I'm not looking forward to that. So, see you later.